Most hybrid SUVs look impressive on a dealership window sticker. High fuel economy, more horsepower than the regular gasoline version, lower emissions, and the promise that you will save money every time you drive past a gas station. But that promise does not work for every buyer. Some hybrids cost thousands of dollars more than the gasoline model and take years to recover the difference. Some deliver excellent efficiency in city traffic but lose much of their advantage on the highway. Some combine a turbocharger, electric motor, battery and conventional transmission into one complicated package. And plug-in hybrids can be brilliant when they are charged every night, or expensive, heavy gasoline SUVs when they are not. That is the part most dealerships do not explain clearly. Buying the best hybrid is not about finding the highest fuel economy number. It is about matching the powertrain to the life you actually live. How far do you drive every day? Can you charge at home? Do you spend most of your time in traffic or on the highway? Do you need all-wheel drive? How long are you planning to keep the vehicle? And how much complexity are you willing to accept after the warranty expires? Today, we are ranking 5 hybrid SUVs that actually make sense in the real world. We are comparing the Mitsubishi Outlander, PHEV, Kia Sportage Hybrid, Hyundai Tucson Hybrid, Honda CR-V Hybrid, and Toyota RAV4 Hybrid. Every SUV on this list can be the correct choice, but only when it is purchased by the correct driver. The vehicle ranked 5th could produce the lowest gasoline bill of the entire group, but without home charging, it becomes much harder to justify. The SUVs in the middle offer impressive power, technology, and warranties, but they also use more mechanically complicated hybrid systems, and the number 1 vehicle has one of the most mature hybrid philosophies in the industry. But its newest generation introduces a problem that cautious buyers should not ignore. Let's begin. Number 5. Mitsubishi Outlander, PHEV. At number 5 is the Mitsubishi Outlander, PHEV. And this ranking needs an immediate explanation. The Outlander PHEV is not at the bottom because it is the least efficient SUV here. Under the correct circumstances, it could use less gasoline than every other vehicle in this comparison. The 2026 Outlander PHEV offers up to an estimated 45 miles of electric driving on a full charge and approximately 420 miles of combined gasoline and electric range. That means many owners could complete an entire workday without starting the gasoline engine very often. Imagine that your commute is 15 miles in each direction. You leave home with a full battery. You drive to work electrically. You return home electrically. Then you connect the vehicle overnight and repeat the process the following morning. During a normal week, the gasoline engine may operate very little. But unlike a fully electric vehicle, the Outlander does not force you to plan every long trip around charging stations. When the battery's electric range is depleted, the gasoline engine allows you to continue driving. That combination is the central appeal of a plug-in hybrid. Electric driving for predictable daily trips. Gasoline flexibility for vacations, emergencies and long-distance travel. On paper, it sounds like the perfect compromise. But here is what many buyers discover after signing the loan. A plug-in hybrid only makes financial sense when you actually plug it in. Regenerative braking can recover some energy while the vehicle slows down, but it cannot replace charging from an external source. You cannot drive the Outlander like a normal hybrid and expect the battery to refill itself completely. If you live in an apartment without reliable charging, park on the street or constantly forget to connect the vehicle, you are carrying a large battery and additional electrical hardware without receiving the full benefit. Once the usable electric charge is reduced, the gasoline engine must move a heavier vehicle. That can make the real-world fuel economy much less impressive than the electric-assisted numbers shown in advertisements. This is the mistake many plug-in hybrid buyers make. They focus on the maximum efficiency figure without examining how that figure is produced. A plug-in hybrid may display a spectacular MPGE rating, but MPGE includes electricity. It is not the same measurement as conventional miles per gallon. The actual operating cost depends on the price of electricity where you live, the price of gasoline, how often you charge and how much of your driving occurs within the electric range. For one owner, the Outlander PHEV could be extremely economical. For another, it could cost more to purchase and operate than a regular hybrid. The charging equipment also deserves attention. The Outlander can be charged at home, which is where most owners should get the majority of their energy. It also supports DC fast charging through the CHAdeMO connector. But CHAdeMO has become less common in the United States as other charging standards have expanded. That does not make the vehicle unusable. Most plug-in hybrid owners should not depend heavily on public fast charging anyway. The battery is much smaller than the battery in a fully electric vehicle, so overnight home charging is usually the more logical routine. But anyone planning to use public charging frequently should examine the available stations in their area before purchasing. Do not assume that every fast charger will connect to every vehicle. The Outlander PHEV has another advantage that the other 4 SUVs cannot match directly. It offers a small third row. That sounds impressive, but expectations need to remain realistic. The third row is best treated as occasional seating. It can be useful for children or emergency transportation, but adults will not consider it spacious during a long trip. Still, having those extra seats can matter to a family that occasionally needs to carry more people, but does not want a much larger 3-row SUV. The all-wheel drive system is another strong point. Electric motors can respond quickly and help distribute power without waiting for a conventional mechanical system to react. That can make the Outlander feel secure in rain, snow, and difficult conditions. But again, capability adds complexity. You are purchasing a gasoline engine, a hybrid battery, multiple electric components, charging hardware, and an advanced all-wheel drive system. The fact that these systems work together smoothly does not mean they disappear from the ownership equation. More components mean more systems that need to remain healthy as the vehicle ages. That is why warranty coverage, dealership access, and service expertise matter. Before buying an Outlander PHEV, verify that a qualified Mitsubishi service department is reasonably close to where you live. A Toyota hybrid can be serviced by a large number of dealerships and independent specialists. Mitsubishi has a smaller dealer network in many parts of the country. A vehicle may be reliable, but ownership can still become frustrating if specialized service requires a long drive. So, who should buy the Outlander PHEV? Someone who has dependable home charging, someone whose normal daily driving fits within roughly 45 electric miles, someone who occasionally needs a third row, someone who wants electric commuting without relying completely on public charging during long trips, and someone who plans to use the plug every day. Who should avoid it? Drivers who cannot charge at home, owners who travel almost exclusively on the highway, buyers searching for the simplest possible vehicle to maintain for 15 years, and anyone choosing it only because the efficiency number looks impressive. The Outlander PHEV ranks 5th because its benefits depend heavily on owner behavior. Use it correctly and it can be the most economical SUV here. Use it like a regular gasoline vehicle and much of its advantage disappears. Number 4. Kia Sportage Hybrid. At number 4 is the Kia Sportage Hybrid, and this might be the value champion of the entire comparison. The Sportage Hybrid combines a turbocharged gasoline engine, an electric motor, and a conventional automatic transmission. The current system produces approximately 231 horsepower, giving it stronger acceleration than many buyers expect from an efficiency-focused SUV. That power matters in the real world. Some hybrids feel designed entirely around reducing fuel consumption. You press the accelerator, hear the engine become louder, and wait for the vehicle to respond. The Sportage Hybrid feels different. The electric motor provides immediate assistance at low speeds, while the turbocharged engine contributes additional torque when more power is needed. That makes merging, passing, and carrying passengers feel easier. Kia also uses a conventional automatic transmission instead of a traditional belt-driven CVT. The vehicle changes through actual gears. For drivers who dislike the constant engine sound produced by some continuously variable systems, the Sportage can feel more natural. You accelerate, the transmission shifts, the engine speed changes. The sound and vehicle speed feel connected in a familiar way. That driving experience is one of the Sportage Hybrid's greatest strengths. But the engineering that creates that experience also introduces its biggest long-term question. This is not a simple hybrid system. You have a turbocharged gasoline engine, an electric motor, a high-voltage battery, hybrid control electronics, and a conventional automatic transmission. Every one of those components may function reliably, But the system still contains more major parts than Toyota's power split hybrid design. A turbocharger operates under heat and pressure. It depends heavily on clean engine oil. The automatic transmission contains gears, clutches, and hydraulic components. The hybrid system adds electrical hardware and battery cooling requirements. This does not make the Sportage Hybrid a bad long-term purchase. It means maintenance discipline matters. An owner who changes oil consistently, uses the correct fluids, and responds quickly to warning lights could have a very different experience from someone who delays service because the vehicle still appears to drive normally. The Sportage Hybrid also delivers something several rivals struggle to match: interior space. The rear seating area is generous, the cargo area is practical, and the cabin feels wider and more open than what you might expect from a compact SUV. That space matters when judging whether a vehicle makes sense in the real world. A hybrid cannot save you money if you replace it 3 years later because your family outgrew it. The Sportage has enough passenger and cargo capacity to remain useful through changing circumstances. A couple can buy it. Children can arrive. Car seats can be installed. Luggage, groceries, and strollers can be carried. And the SUV can continue serving the family without immediately feeling too small. Technology is another major advantage. Kia gives the Sportage a modern digital interior, available large screens, useful camera systems, and a long list of convenience features. During a dealership test drive, it may feel more expensive than some competitors, but technology creates a long-term trade-off. Screens, cameras, sensors, and connected features are impressive when everything is new. As the vehicle ages, they become additional components that can potentially fail. A damaged engine will stop the SUV. A damaged screen may not. But when climate, navigation, and vehicle settings depend heavily on that screen, the repair can still become difficult to ignore. This is where buyers need to separate necessary technology from optional technology. Do you genuinely need every feature in the highest trim? Or are you adding thousands of dollars to the price and increasing future complexity for features you will use twice? A mid-level Sportage Hybrid may be the smarter long-term purchase than the most heavily equipped version. Smaller wheels are another intelligent choice. Large wheels can make an SUV look more aggressive. They also require more expensive tires, provide less sidewall protection against potholes, and may reduce ride comfort. The basic hybrid configuration already contains the technology needed to improve efficiency. You do not need the most expensive appearance package to receive the powertrain benefit. The Sportage Hybrid is especially logical for someone who wants a hybrid that feels like a normal gasoline vehicle. You do not have to plug it in. You do not need to change your daily routine. You simply add fuel and drive. The battery charges through the engine and regenerative braking. The system manages the transition between gasoline and electric assistance automatically. But do not purchase it solely because you assume every hybrid delivers enormous fuel savings. Your results depend on driving conditions. City traffic gives the electric system more opportunities to recover energy and assist at low speeds. Steady high-speed highway driving reduces that advantage. A buyer who drives 20,000 highway miles per year should compare the hybrid's total price against the regular gasoline version. The fuel savings may still be worthwhile, but the calculation will be different from that of someone driving through heavy urban traffic every day. The Sportage Hybrid ranks fourth because it offers strong value, useful space, impressive power, and a familiar driving experience. But its turbocharged hybrid system is more mechanically ambitious than the two Japanese hybrids near the top. It makes sense for buyers who value features and performance. It is less convincing for someone whose only priority is maximum mechanical simplicity. Number 3. Hyundai Tucson Hybrid. At number 3 is the Hyundai Tucson Hybrid. The Tucson and Sportage are closely related, but they do not feel identical. They share a basic corporate engineering philosophy. A turbocharged gasoline engine works with an electric motor and a conventional automatic transmission. The 2026 Tucson Hybrid produces 231 combined horsepower, includes standard HTRAC all-wheel drive, and can return up to an EPA estimated 38 miles per gallon combined in its most efficient configuration. That combination gives the Tucson one of the strongest performance-to-efficiency balances in this group. It is not the fuel economy champion. The RAV4 and front-wheel drive CR-V can deliver stronger official numbers, but the Tucson provides standard all-wheel drive while still maintaining competitive efficiency. That makes it especially attractive for drivers living in areas with rain, snow, or changing road conditions. The electric motor also improves the way the Tucson responds at low speeds. Turbocharged engines can sometimes hesitate while building boost. Electric torque helps fill that gap. When you press the accelerator, the motor can respond immediately while the gasoline engine contributes additional power. The result is smoother and stronger than the numbers might suggest. Like the Kia, the Hyundai uses a conventional automatic transmission. That gives it actual gear changes and a more familiar driving character than a power split hybrid. For drivers who have tested a Toyota and dislike the way the engine holds a constant speed during acceleration, the Tucson may feel more natural. This is an important reminder. Fuel economy is not the only quality that determines whether you will enjoy owning a vehicle. A hybrid can be technically brilliant and still become annoying if you dislike how it responds every day. The Tucson Hybrid may give up a few miles per gallon compared with the most efficient alternatives. But some owners will gladly make that trade for better acceleration, conventional shifting, and standard all-wheel drive. The warranty also changes the ownership equation. Hyundai provides a 10-year or 100,000-mile limited warranty on the hybrid battery system, while its long powertrain warranty applies primarily to the original owner under specific conditions. Subsequent owners need to verify what coverage remains. That distinction is critical. People often hear 10-year warranty and assume the coverage follows the vehicle automatically. It may not remain identical after the vehicle is sold. A used Tucson Hybrid buyer should never rely on a salesperson's general statement. Read the warranty documents, confirm the original in-service date, determine whether the vehicle is certified, and verify exactly which components remain covered. Warranty coverage provides valuable financial protection. But it does not eliminate the inconvenience of a failure. It also does not cover normal maintenance, wear items, damage, or every electronic feature for the same period. The Tucson's interior is one of the reasons it ranks above the Sportage for certain buyers. The cabin feels open and modern. Passenger space is strong. Cargo capacity is useful. And the vehicle is large enough to function as a family SUV without becoming difficult to maneuver. The biggest concern is the same concern facing the Kia: mechanical complexity. The gasoline engine uses a turbocharger. The transmission uses conventional internal components. The hybrid system adds a motor, battery, inverter, and cooling hardware. Long-term maintenance may require more attention than Toyota's simpler power split arrangement. Oil quality is especially important. A turbocharger spins extremely fast and operates at high temperature. Delaying an oil change because the vehicle still drives normally is a poor strategy. The hybrid system may reduce engine usage in some conditions, but it does not make oil maintenance optional. Transmission service also deserves attention. The presence of electric assistance does not eliminate the automatic transmission. It still contains fluid that is affected by heat, mileage, and driving conditions. Owners planning to keep the Tucson well beyond the warranty should maintain it as a long-term asset rather than following only the minimum necessary to reach the end of the lease. The Tucson Hybrid makes the most sense for a specific buyer. Someone who wants standard all-wheel drive. Someone who values a long original owner warranty. Someone who wants stronger acceleration than many efficiency-focused hybrids provide. Someone who prefers actual gear changes. And someone who plans to maintain the vehicle carefully. It makes less sense for a driver searching for the absolute highest fuel economy. It also may not be the most conservative choice for someone planning to keep the vehicle for 20 years with the lowest possible mechanical complexity. The Tucson takes third because it feels complete. It is efficient without being slow, practical without being enormous, modern without entering luxury vehicle pricing, and protected by strong warranty coverage for the original buyer. But the two vehicles ahead of it use hybrid systems that require fewer compromises for a larger number of drivers. Number 2. Honda CR-V Hybrid. At number 2 is the Honda CR-V Hybrid, and this may be the best hybrid SUV in the group for city driving and family practicality. Honda's system does not operate like the turbocharged hybrids used by Hyundai and Kia. At lower speeds, the gasoline engine often works primarily to produce electricity. The electric motor performs much of the actual work of driving the wheels. At higher speeds, the system can connect the engine more directly when that becomes more efficient. The result is a vehicle that often feels closer to an electric SUV in city traffic. Acceleration begins smoothly. Electric torque arrives quickly, and the transmission does not need to shift through multiple gears. The 2026 CR-V Hybrid produces 204 horsepower. Front-wheel drive versions are rated as high as 43 miles per gallon in the city and 36 on the highway, while common all-wheel drive hybrid configurations are rated around 40 city and 34 highway. Honda also lists up to 76.5 cubic feet of maximum cargo capacity. Those numbers explain why the CR-V Hybrid makes so much sense for suburban and urban families. City driving is where many conventional gasoline SUVs perform at their worst. Frequent acceleration consumes fuel. Braking throws away the energy used to build speed. Idling wastes gasoline while the vehicle goes nowhere. A hybrid changes that pattern. The electric motor assists during acceleration. Regenerative braking recovers part of the energy during deceleration. And the gasoline engine can stop operating when it is not needed. The more stop-and-go traffic you encounter, the more opportunities the hybrid system has to demonstrate its advantage. That does not mean every CR-V hybrid owner will receive the maximum advertised economy. Cold weather affects battery performance. Short trips can prevent the gasoline engine from reaching efficient operating temperature. Aggressive acceleration increases consumption. All-wheel drive adds weight and mechanical drag, and sustained highway speeds reduce the number of opportunities for regenerative braking. Still, the Honda's city efficiency is one of its most convincing strengths. The interior is another reason it ranks second. The rear seat offers generous room. Adults can sit comfortably behind other adults. The doors open widely. The cargo opening is low and broad. And the rear seats can be folded when more space is needed. These details matter more than an impressive touchscreen after several years of ownership. A vehicle becomes expensive when it stops fitting your life. The CR-V is large enough to serve a family, but compact enough to remain manageable. That balance can prevent premature replacement. Driving feel is also strong. At low speeds, the electric motor provides immediate response. The CR-V does not need a turbocharger to create useful torque. That removes one heat-producing component from the gasoline engine. But Honda's hybrid design is not mechanically identical to Toyota's. The system uses a different relationship between the engine, generator motor, and drive motor. It can feel smoother in urban driving, but Toyota has a longer and broader record with its planetary power split architecture. That difference does not mean the Honda system is unreliable. It means the Toyota system has accumulated more examples across more vehicles and more years. There is another trade-off. The CR-V Hybrid often performs best in city and suburban driving. At higher highway speeds, the fuel economy advantage becomes smaller. Someone who drives 75 miles per hour across open interstate roads every day may not achieve the same benefit as someone commuting through traffic. The Honda can still be efficient, but buyers should choose based on their actual routine, not the best number in an advertisement. The all-wheel drive decision also requires thought. Some trims include it. Others allow buyers to select front-wheel drive. If you live in a warm climate, rarely encounter snow, and spend most of your time on paved roads, front-wheel drive can provide better efficiency with fewer mechanical components. If you deal with winter conditions or steep, unpaved roads, all-wheel drive may be worth the additional cost and slightly lower fuel economy. Do not buy capability because you think every SUV must have it. Buy it because you will use it. The CR-V Hybrid also feels relatively conventional inside. Honda has retained practical controls for important functions instead of forcing everything through a single touchscreen. That may sound like a minor advantage, but adjusting the temperature without looking away from traffic is a real quality of life benefit. The fewer steps required to perform a basic task, the easier the vehicle is to live with. This becomes especially valuable for older drivers or anyone tired of touchscreen-heavy interiors. So, who should buy the CR-V Hybrid? Drivers who spend significant time in city or suburban traffic. Families that prioritize passenger and cargo space. Buyers who want smooth, low-speed performance without a turbocharger. And owners who care more about comfort and practicality than aggressive styling. Who might prefer something else? Drivers who spend nearly all their time on high-speed highways. Buyers demanding the strongest all-wheel drive capability. And shoppers whose first priority is the deepest possible hybrid reliability record. The CR-V Hybrid ranks second because it may be the most comfortable and practical everyday vehicle in this group. But number 1 offers a combination of efficiency, warranty coverage, and established hybrid architecture that remains extremely difficult to defeat. Number 1. Toyota RAV4 Hybrid. The number 1 hybrid SUV that makes sense for the widest range of real-world buyers is the Toyota RAV4 Hybrid. That does not mean it wins every individual category. The Honda may feel smoother in city traffic. The Hyundai and Kia may feel more natural to drivers who prefer conventional gear changes. The Mitsubishi could use less gasoline when charged every night. But the RAV4 Hybrid creates the strongest overall balance. The 2026 RAV4 begins a new generation and is now built around electrified powertrains. Toyota advertises fuel economy of up to 47 miles per gallon in the city and 40 on the highway, depending on the configuration, along with as much as 37.8 cubic feet of cargo room behind the rear seats. Toyota's regular hybrid system combines a gasoline engine with electric motor generators through a planetary power split device. This system is frequently described as an electronically controlled continuously variable transmission. That name can be misleading. It is not the same as a conventional belt-driven CVT. There is no metal belt moving between variable pulleys. There is no normal sequence of first gear, second gear, third gear, and fourth gear. Instead, the gasoline engine and electric motors operate through a planetary gear arrangement. The computer constantly changes how much work comes from each power source. At low speeds, the electric system can assist heavily. During braking, the motors recover energy. During steady driving, the system searches for an efficient balance between gasoline and electricity. The design can sound strange during hard acceleration. The engine may rise to a steady speed and remain there while the vehicle continues accelerating. The sound does not always increase and decrease like a traditional automatic transmission. Some drivers dislike that sensation. It can feel as though the engine is working harder than the vehicle's acceleration suggests. But the unusual sound is not automatically a sign of mechanical distress. It is a characteristic of the powertrain. This is why a serious test drive matters. Do not drive gently around the block. Merge onto a highway. Accelerate up a hill. Carry passengers. Listen to the engine. Decide whether the sound bothers you before purchasing. An engineering advantage becomes irrelevant if you dislike experiencing it every day. The RAV4's strongest argument is maturity. Toyota has used variations of this hybrid philosophy across several generations and millions of vehicles. The company has developed a large service network. Dealerships are familiar with hybrid diagnostics. Independent specialists are increasingly available, and replacement components are generally easier to obtain than they would be for a rare hybrid system. Toyota also supports its hybrid battery with a 10-year or 150,000-mile limited warranty, whichever comes first. That coverage is reassuring, but it should not be misunderstood. A warranty does not guarantee that the battery will fail immediately after the coverage expires. It also does not guarantee that every battery will last forever. Hybrid batteries age according to time, temperature, use, and operating conditions. Many can remain functional for very high mileage. Eventually, every battery loses some capacity. The important difference is that battery aging can be considered in advance. It is not necessarily a random surprise. The battery cooling system also needs attention. Air must move through the cooling intake. Pet hair, dust, and cargo can restrict airflow. An owner planning to keep the RAV4 for many years should know where that intake is located and ensure it remains unobstructed. Buying a Toyota does not eliminate maintenance. It simply gives you a system with an extensive history when maintenance is performed correctly. The RAV4 also works without requiring the owner to change daily habits. There is no charging cable, no need to search for a charging station, no need to remember to plug in at night. You add gasoline and drive. The battery charges through the hybrid system and regenerative braking. That simplicity is why a conventional hybrid can make more sense than a plug-in hybrid for millions of buyers. The plug-in may be more efficient under ideal conditions, but the regular hybrid delivers a consistent benefit even when the owner lives in an apartment, parks on the street, or travels unpredictably. The RAV4 has enough space for many families. It is not as spacious behind the rear seats as the CR-V in every measurement, but it provides a practical cargo area and useful passenger room. It can handle commuting, groceries, luggage, pets, and normal family life without becoming a full-size SUV. All-wheel drive is available for buyers who need it, while front-wheel drive configurations maximize fuel economy. That choice matters. The most efficient version may not be the best version for someone driving through snow. The most capable version may not be the best version for someone living in a dry, warm city. The correct RAV4 is the configuration that matches the owner. There is, however, a major warning. The 2026 RAV4 is a redesigned vehicle. Toyota's hybrid principle is mature. But the newest electronics, software, screens, sensors, and supporting components have not accumulated 10 years of real-world data. A reliable previous generation cannot guarantee that every part of a new generation will be flawless. First-year vehicles sometimes experience software bugs, supplier issues, or small production problems that are corrected later. Toyota is not immune to that reality. A cautious buyer has two logical options. Purchase the new generation while understanding that some uncertainty remains. Or wait until early owners accumulate mileage and common problems become easier to identify. Waiting is not an admission that the RAV4 is unreliable. It is simply the conservative strategy whenever a vehicle receives a major redesign. The RAV4 also carries a popularity penalty. Strong demand can increase transaction prices. Some dealerships may add accessories or markups. Used examples may cost more than comparable competitors. Saving fuel does not automatically make an overpriced purchase intelligent. Calculate the complete cost: purchase price, financing, insurance, fuel, maintenance, depreciation, and the amount of time you realistically plan to keep it. A hybrid that saves several $100s per year can still become a poor financial decision if you overpay by thousands. But when purchased at a reasonable price, the RAV4 Hybrid makes sense for more drivers than any other SUV in this comparison. It does not need home charging. It avoids a turbocharger in the regular hybrid configuration. It uses a well-established power split architecture. It delivers strong fuel economy in varied conditions. It retains practical cargo and passenger space. And it is supported by one of the largest hybrid service ecosystems in the industry. That combination earns it first place. Final verdict. Here is the final ranking. At number 5, the Mitsubishi Outlander PHEV. It can be the most fuel-efficient vehicle in this comparison for someone who charges at home and drives within its electric range. But without consistent charging, its purchase price, weight, and complexity become harder to justify. At number 4, the Kia Sportage Hybrid. It offers excellent space, strong power, modern technology, and a driving experience that feels familiar. But its turbocharged engine and conventional automatic transmission create more mechanical complexity than the leading Japanese hybrids. At number 3, the Hyundai Tucson Hybrid. It combines 231 horsepower, standard all-wheel drive, competitive efficiency, and strong original owner warranty coverage. It is one of the best choices for drivers who want a hybrid that still feels like a conventional SUV. At number 2, the Honda CR-V Hybrid. It is exceptionally well suited to city and suburban driving. Its smooth two-motor system, generous interior, and practical controls make it one of the easiest hybrids to live with every day. And at number 1, the Toyota RAV4 Hybrid. Its mature hybrid philosophy, strong efficiency, useful space, broad service network, and long battery warranty create the best overall balance for most buyers. But the real winner depends on your routine. If you can charge every night and drive less than approximately 45 miles per day, the Outlander PHEV may use the least gasoline. If you want the most technology and value, the Sportage Hybrid deserves serious consideration. If you want standard all-wheel drive and stronger acceleration, the Tucson Hybrid may suit you better. If most of your driving happens in city traffic and interior space matters, the CR-V Hybrid might be the smartest choice. And if you want the most predictable all-around hybrid experience without plugging in, the RAV4 Hybrid remains the standard. That is the truth dealerships rarely explain. There is no universally perfect hybrid. There is only the hybrid that matches your life. A plug-in hybrid without a plug is a compromised purchase. An all-wheel drive hybrid in a warm city may carry equipment you never use. A fuel economy champion can still cost too much if the dealer adds a large markup. And a reliable powertrain cannot save you from purchasing a vehicle that is too small, uncomfortable, or poorly suited to your daily routine. Before signing anything, write down your actual weekly driving. How many miles do you travel? How much occurs in traffic? How much occurs on the highway? Can you charge at home? How often do you carry passengers? How long will you keep the vehicle? Those answers matter more than a badge. Now I want to hear from real hybrid owners. Which hybrid SUV do you drive? What fuel economy are you actually getting? Do you drive mostly in the city or on the highway? And if you own a plug-in hybrid, how often do you really charge it? Leave the model, year, and mileage in the comments, because in the next video, we are ranking 7 family SUVs that are actually worth your money, and one of the most popular 3-row models may not finish where buyers expect.